two clubs jockeying to slide up in their respective conferences in hopes of improving their playoff position. It's Pittsburgh and Sacramento on this Sunday afternoon in Northern California. Thank you for joining us alongside former Republic midfielder Adam Moffat. I'm Rob McAllister. It's been 8 years since the last time these two met. It happened right here in Sacramento. It's a contest the Riverhounds would hope to never relive again. Meanwhile, Roro, a star back then, is back today after a two-match suspension in hopes of inflicting similar pain. Adam, what does Sacramento need to do to finish with the same result?
The same as July 27th, 2014. Get Rodrigo Lopez involved as much as possible. He's missed the last 2 games of suspension, but when you get him involved, good things happen. Different sidekicks, doesn't have Guzman, doesn't have Tommy Stewart, but what he does have is Douglas Martinez, Keko, crucial to the attack today. If they can get goals going in, finish this season on a high, 2 home games left.
Obviously a much different Pittsburgh side from 2022 to 2014. Should be a good one. Both trying to get that home position in the playoffs. Can they do it? It's going to be a big one here today in this afternoon matchup. The Riverhounds and Republic, and it's coming up next.
Build a community that thrives by staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012, because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh.
This is the look of a little girl with big dreams, but only one last hope. A girl whose organs were shutting down as she was growing up. A girl who finally found her spotlight when she found her specialist. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
For your Sacramento Republic FC. In between the pipes, number 31, Danny. And center back.
86 degrees in the capital of California for the Republic Riverhounds matchup. We are toward the end of the season. Both these teams in the playoffs. Pittsburgh in the Eastern Conference, Sacramento in the Western Conference, but both still looking for a playoff position. They're going to rely on a couple of guys. We'll begin with Rodrigo Lopez, our Western Health Advantage look. 5 goals, 8 assists, back on that 2-game suspension after yellow card accumulation.
What a difference maker this guy can be. The set pieces, just getting on the ball. He attracts the defenders, so creative. And I know he'll want to get back after the 2-game absence. Get back, prove a point that this team is better than the results have shown.
Meanwhile, Pittsburgh has relied on a variety of players, but Robbie Mertz, the 25-year-old homegrown out of Pittsburgh, 4 goals, 8 assists, and came back after a stint with Atlanta United. He's been a crucial part to their success in 2022.
You got to keep an eye on Robbie Mertz, him, Forbes, Griffin in the middle. They move around, they're interchangeable, tough to track, and great output for midfielder. 4 goals, 8 assists. Very dangerous team in the attack, Pittsburgh. Keep an eye on them today.
Our starting 11 brought to you by Los Rios Community College District. Republic in the alternate black kits tonight. A 3-4-3. Rodrigo Lopez up top. He's going to be flanked by Martinez and Keko. And then Duke Lacroix, Dan Casey is back, also critical. And Casey Donovan will be your defenders for the Republic this afternoon. For the visiting Riverhounds, have not been here since 2014. They'll go with a 4-2-3-1 of sorts. Albert Dikwa up top, 11 goals, 4 assists on the year. A very critical player. Russell Cicerone, another standout season from the 28-year-old out of Michigan. They'll wear the yellow and black kits, and they are led by head coach Bob Lilly, one of the best USL Championship coaches of all time. And he's got this Pittsburgh team into the playoffs for a 5th consecutive season. Sacramento, Pittsburgh, both probably not having the stretch runs they'd like to have into the postseason here. They hope to correct that against each other this afternoon. Keko's got the kick, and here we go from Heart Health Park. Already Douglas Martinez trying to get Keko and company forward. What would you want to see from Sacramento in the first 15, Adam?
Be aggressive, go for it. Pittsburgh, it's a long way. Pittsburgh, Sacramento, anytime you travel so far, you do not want that other team coming out with a bundle of energy. So if Sacramento can do that, they can put Pittsburgh in a tight spot. Scoring early goals hasn't been something that's come around a lot. So right here, you see Dan Casey's getting up in the attack. Can he get involved?
Casey sidestepping, plays this ball centrally as Dougie tried to recycle that run, stay on side. But very rare from the right center back, Dan Casey. Does have an assist this year, but he's been more of an impact player in the attack when it comes to set pieces, not necessarily when it comes to running that right side with a guy like Jack Gurr.
It's a great position early for him to get into, Dan Casey. You typically see Jack Gurr, but the problem was the 2 runners in the box, check back, Roro, Douglas, they made the same run. Have to get one going into the goal there.
For Pittsburgh, here is a team that's trying to correct itself. 53 points on the year. They, with a win, would move up into their 4th position in the Eastern Conference, so they know how critical this match is. And they're going to go with full strength this afternoon. But how about this back line? One of the biggest back lines. We talked about how big San Antonio is, but I think Peters, Williams, Ordonez, and Wheat may have anyone beat. They look like some of the top clubs in all of Europe. And here's a quick ball in, looking for Dikwa on the run, and Vitiello able to get to it. But this is some size here. How do you take advantage if you're Sacramento with a team that's obviously going to play a bit physical?
Pace is typically how you counter, you know, those tall guys. Not too much up front for Sacramento, but it's intelligent runs. Keko's making one right now.
Keko able to get past Peters. Just beyond the stripe, coming through is Martinez. Keko and Wade. It's going to be Keko with a left-footed strike, and it's parried away. Well done by Wade, the 24-year-old out of Philadelphia. And Sacramento not done yet. Felipe. Into the 6 it goes, and cleared by Williams. But Sacramento early on already 2 good possessions.
And that's what I spoke about. They have to come out at home here. Good crowd this Sunday evening. Can they take the pressure that they're applying right now in Pittsburgh and turn it into goals?
Dami Villader, 3 goals, assist on the season. Match number 33 on the year for Sacramento. Felipe crossing this one deep, looking for Dan Casey, and it's cleared by Peters. Back to Gurr. Gurr going to whip this ball in, going to hang a bit high and out of play. However, last touched by Pittsburgh, so it will be the game's first corner kick, brought to you by Atlas Disposal.
And it's that height you spoke about, the back line, the back 4 of Pittsburgh. These kind of set pieces that are just swung in, played into their advantage. They actually mark zonally, so you see them, they're not actually picking up too many men. They're just covering an area because they're so big. So that's when Sacramento can get creative.
Roro back post, Casey backpedaling, Douglas Martinez is there. LaGrassa goes to ground, but Danny Griffin is now moving forward for Pittsburgh. A through ball, easy enough for Connor Donovan, but you can see how quickly Albert Dikwa can spring forward and try to get something for Pittsburgh here. 15 wins on the year for the visiting side. Republic with 14. Both with a goal differential of +10. And how about Sacramento here? They're trying to bounce back. The first 3-game losing streak of the year, and Mark Briggs talked about, he said, hey guys, there's one bad week and we can't get too low. The season they've had, especially the run of US Open Cup, incredible. It's quite difficult to maintain an energy level for how many games Sacramento has played with the Open Cup. And a little bit of perspective, probably exactly what this team needed. And after that match and the loss to Los Dos, Mark Briggs got everyone together for an hour and brought in a bucket of beers. And it sort of changed the mood a little bit.
It does, and it does put it in perspective. It is very hard to do what they've done. You know, the cup run, fantastic. We've seen Orlando just scraping into the playoffs and a goal 5 minutes towards the end today. So great success. We saw the Seattle Sounders make the playoff every single year.
Win the Champions League.
Win the Champions League, and just found it hard to balance both. And there's some good chances onside there, Dequa.
Dequa running toward goal here, looking for some help. In comes Forbes. Forbes is there and broken up by Luis Felipe. And a fantastic run by Canardo Forbes, who leads this team with 10 assists, but almost his second goal on the year.
Anytime you see anyone going sliding in their own box, it's a risk, but Luis Felipe actually does get the ball here, and it should have been a corner kick. Good defensive cover. But that's how quickly this Pittsburgh team can break out.
You're right, Seattle not making the playoffs, and Mark brought that to the guys' attention. Look, it's very hard for a club to win the in-season tournament as well as make it into the playoffs. And Sacramento has been able to do that, and not only that, but have a chance to host a playoff match here at Hard Health Park in the first round.
And both sides here, Pittsburgh, Sacramento, are kind of in the same boat. When they both play well, they play at their strengths, very hard to beat. And that's what you want to do heading into the playoffs. Just be hard to beat, have a little bit of form. You don't want to go in losing 5 games in a row, obviously, but you know on any given day, that self-belief that you can beat anyone. And both these teams are capable of that. So it's just getting that inner belief. A couple wins might help that confidence as well.
Pittsburgh 1-2-2 in their last 5. Their last win came on September 4th against Loudoun. Villader. Keko plays this back to Connor Donovan. How about our Delta Dental injury report for Sacramento? Lee Desmond going to be out for the rest of the season, but everybody else looks clean and healthy, and that is exactly what Mark Briggs is hoping to see this time of year. Yellow card accumulation, always a concern, but Rodrigo Lopez obviously has served those 2 games. Keko upset with the no foul call. And Wheat plays it back. How about this Pittsburgh team? You look around this roster, many of these guys have been here 2, 3, 4 years now and have been able to build quite a chemistry with each other. They know how to play together, and those are the type of teams I know you've probably played on in your career that can be quite dangerous once you get into the postseason. Over at Dequa again. Out comes Vidiello. Going to have to head this one as he's outside the 18. And Dan Casey, instead of just putting this into the stands, will find Jack Gurr.
Last time we saw Danny Vitiello do that last home game here, took a kick right to the groin, so maybe a little apprehensive to come out of his area there, but good piece of goalkeeping there. The sweeper keeper being alert, any balls over the top, you clean it up. Former Pittsburgh man as well.
Won the Golden Glove with the Riverhounds in 2020. Spent 2 years with Bob Lilly. Felipe, and well done reading that out, was Robbie Mertz. Casey through to Dougie. Republic connecting really well earlier. This 10 minutes of play. Gurr send this ball low. Dougie, a first heavy touch, tried to control that heading forward. A good step by Connor Donovan, keeping the possession for Sacramento. Keko will sidestep his way. A warm afternoon. We saw this on the schedule. This is the type of match you think will be low 70s. Not today, 86 degrees. Could be as high as 90 by the time this thing's over. Here's Keko. Crossing this ball in, Rodrigo Lopez slipping and falling, and it's too far away for Dami Villader. But a couple of good crosses already for Sacramento.
That one was just pulled behind everyone, Keiko, but maybe Dami Villader taking a little gamble at the back post, getting a little more connected.
Join us back here at Hardell Park for a regular season finale against Landon Donovan's San Diego Loyal. It's a fan appreciation night. We'll be celebrating the Indomitable fans all night long, giveaways and much more. 7 o'clock, October 15th. The season finale. Incredible. Started all the way back in March. And now it comes to this, and with 34 matches plus the US Open Cup run, it's going to take these guys to dig down a little bit deeper even for these playoffs. They've got a tough road ahead. This Western Conference, very good. Of course, 5 teams still very much in the mix for those final 3 spots. And you asked us 2 weeks ago what it looks like, and what it looks like today, very different. Other than the top 4 remain the same. Duke fighting LaGrassa.
This is where Republic having possession of the ball. They've got to move it side to side. Pittsburgh are really good at just sitting in, bunkering in, defending that goal of theirs, so you have to shift that ball around. It's on the right-hand side now. How can you get out to Dami Villader, Duke Lacroix on the left? Make them move, see what gaps open up.
And Robbie Mertz tackling LaGrassa. So you look at Pittsburgh right now, they are currently in 5th. They're 2 points behind Birmingham. So a win would propel them.
Mertz with the pressure there. Matt LaGrassa going down like a sack of potatoes.
There's Jamali Waite. 31 saves, 19 goals against, 19 appearances, and 7 shutouts. Was in college just a year ago and has become their #1. Keko springing Douglas to the left side. And Ordonez will get there. Quickly in, Keko. He's brought a lot of energy in the last few matches. And earns a good set piece for Sacramento 13 minutes in.
You like the quick throw in by Douglas Martinez, getting into Keko's feet. For his small stature, he's really good at holding the ball up, Keko. Defenders reaching in too much. Free kick given. Rodrigo Lopez back in. Williams was the man fouling Keko there. These areas are always interesting as the free kick taker. You're a little wider than you'd like, but it's right in between crossing the ball or taking a shot. And then from Rodrigo Lopez, you're maybe looking to put this right at the back post and getting runners in front of the goal. Sometimes you see these sneak in. If no one gets a touch, it can sneak into that far post if you frame the goal here.
Low delivery sent away by Pittsburgh. Keko's got room, whipping this ball right back in, looking for Connor Donovan on the backside. Inside the 6, and that ball was smoked inside, but just not enough of a turn by Donovan, and so remains scoreless on a good situation for Sacramento to get a goal.
And I don't think that was touched. I think Connor Donovan just mistimes this. It was a great ball by Keko, and maybe a slight glance. Maybe Peters gets a slight touch on that.
Duke Lacroix selling out, comes up with a big tackle on Dixon. Roro. And an easy giveaway right back. Casey He's not afraid to get into the mix today. Lopez crossing this one a bit low, easy enough for Ordonez. As Dequa colliding with Connor Donovan. And now Pittsburgh trying to turn this into their favor and springing out Dequa to the left side. Nice little run here coming for Cicerone. Forbes gonna let this one ride and ran out of options. It'll be a goal kick for Danny Vitiello.
It's good movement initially from Dequa. There's a few times when they win the ball, Pittsburgh, they're just looking to spring him, whether it be a ball slid through or over the top. That's where Dan Casey, Connor Donovan have to make sure they're covered. And what Pittsburgh did really well is to get those late runs coming in. Cicerone there coming in. And then one of the three midfielders, Forbes or Robbie Mertz, likes to join in too.
Republic 9-2-4 at home here at Hart Health Park. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh 7 wins, 6 losses, and 3 draws on the road. Trying to volley this one into their favor. It's Dixon here on the touchline in front of the Republic bench. Roro with a pick there, nicely done on Albert Dequa. Celebrating 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with SelectSportAmerica.com. Here's Mertz again to Forbes. And Forbes rejoining Bob Lilly, played with their head coach in Rochester from 2015 to 17. He has been one of the better assist men in the league, 55 assists since 2015. And double digits again this year with 10.
Both teams taking spells of possession here in the opening 20 minutes. And it is tough to break both these lineups down, but those kind of passes can do it.
Mertz trying to find Cicerone in stride. Just a 1-2-3 combination, which they have perfected throughout this season. But Danny Vitiello read it well and comes away without a shot attempt.
A really good combination. It was the third man running right there. Cicerone almost getting through. Danny Vitiello alert off his line.
Imagine they're working it back and forth. Sort of easy to get into a lull a little bit, start to relax, and I guess that's when Pittsburgh tries to pounce on you.
He's been patient with the ball, and as you mentioned, just waiting for that right moment, and that was it. The ball into the striker's feet, and the runs off him, the support.
Cicerone. How about a season he had a year ago? 16 goals, 8 assists. And one of the best in USL. For a man with so many assists for a club, it's interesting to see how much Canardo Forbes comes back and works with that back line. And then trying to get Dequa going again. Nicely done by Connor Donovan. Will become an official youth club partner to provide more for your parents and players. We'll get back to that in a moment. Here's Kecko. Just try to find Douglas Martinez. Didn't see the Pittsburgh Riverhound coming his way, and it's broken up easy enough. Sacramento missing out on a golden opportunity there, Adam.
Does it great initially, Kecko. He anticipates that the ball's going to get flicked on. gets on the end of it, and it's just too slow. The pass through for Douglas Martinez. A little more pace on that, and Douglas is through one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
You can gain access to private camps and clinics with professional training. It's much more if you want to learn about this youth club partnerships. Head to the Republic website. Felipe, Scott Kecko making a central run. This ball will take a deflection. It'll find the left foot of Villader. Dami dribbling through, trying to create some opportunities. Kecko whipping this ball in, looking for that back post chance. And it's cleared by Pittsburgh and will give the Republic a corner kick.
Yeah, it was Roro actually who drove that one in from the left-hand side. It was a good drive and run by Dami Villader. You see, he's just trying to get space to get a shot with his left foot. Doesn't happen. Drops it off to Roro. Another corner kick coming up. And as I mentioned earlier, the way that Pittsburgh sets up is they mark zonally. So a couple people mark some players, but they just put the big bodies in the way. So can you be a little creative? Jack Gurr on top of the box, just off your screen. He might be getting involved.
Kecko, this ball's low, bouncing around into the 6. Dangerous for Pittsburgh. Gurr right back, looking for Felipe. And now the other way, here comes Canardo Forbes and this Pittsburgh side. Mertz, excuse me. Lofted softly to Wheat here. And Duke Lacroix will just let this, and this one is a push in the back and a foul by Griffin.
Just going back to that corner kick, that's what Republic had to do. They had to be clever to maybe get an advantage, and it was great play by Kecko Roro, but no one in the box. I don't think any of the guys were ready for it, to be honest. A dangerous ball put across the face by Kecko.
Gurr cutting inside. Looking for a teammate. He'll switch the field to Villader. Villader going 1v1 here. Going to peel away. Roro. Lacrosse has got a bit of room here. Martinez was unhappy with that. Hope to see a foul called there, and had a couple words from Mark Allerton.
That was Republic's time to have a little spell of possession, see what they can do. Again, being patient, moving it side to side, waiting for that opening.
Gurr, he's got space here. It's the most patient we've seen Sacramento in quite some time this year as Rodrigo Lopez is taken down, and a foul is awarded. Do you like this patience we're seeing from Sacramento? It's not something we've seen over the last couple months.
It's good keeping the ball. Again, you don't want to be turning it over every time, but you just see Roro there knowing when to change pace. So that give and go he's looking for with Jack Gurr puts Peters in a tough spot, brings him down, have another free kick.
Into the 25th minute we go here, scoreless in Sacramento. Rodrigo Lopez will go with his left foot, something he did not have 8 years ago, at least not to this extent. Roro driving this ball low and easy enough for Pittsburgh. But we have seen the magic of both feet here in 2022 for Rodrigo Lopez and this Republic side. And we go back to that 14 match, a 5-0 victory for Sacramento. Tommy Stewart nearly had a hat trick. Rodrigo Lopez had a brace. Adam John, the Sacramento native, then San Jose Earthquake also getting into the mix. But other than Rodrigo Lopez and myself, I don't think anyone else has been here for that same match.
It's not often you could reference a match from 8 years ago and have one of the same players out there and still the star guy. So credit to Roro. It just shows his longevity and his ability to produce for a long time. And yourself.
Yes. One of us had to stay fit. The other did not. Here's Wheat. And a nice tackle coming from Dami Villader. Now he's trying to spring something. Rodrigo Lopez plays to Keko as Pittsburgh's able to do a nice job of getting back here. That's the one thing with those big bodies. They don't tend to get too far into the attack, especially on the wings. But Rodrigo Lopez now delivering this ball to Martinez. Peters the mark. And now we'll work it around the horn again. Connor Donovan, nobody picking him up. This gives some space for Villader. Heavy first touch, able to collect it. Cross coming in. Here's Keko trying to turn it on frame. But Jack Gurr is able to collect it. And the deflection high. And it will be a corner kick for Sacramento. Thinking offside?
There was another, Matt LaGrassa was open there. Jack Gurr opts to drive that ball across the front, but good patient play. Donovan skips a line. Villader, what a ball across. Keko feel like he has to do a little bit better, get that on frame. And again, defensively, they do a good job. Pittsburgh just clearing the danger, but Keko knows it himself. That's one he's probably used to putting away.
So Rodrigo Lopez, an out-swinging ball coming for the Republic. Ball delivered. Looking for Felipe. Donovan was there. Villader. Gurr looking for Douglas Martinez on the backside. Martinez trying to go up for it and just unable to make a play. Not much contact there, and will be a goal kick for Jamali Waite. Well, support breast health awareness this month with a limited edition hat featuring a pink ribbon, the international symbol for breast cancer awareness, and the word indomitable. A nod to one of the club's core values and resilient spirit displayed by breast cancer patients and survivors and their families. 25% of proceeds will directly benefit I'll Be Aware to support programs and services. As you'll notice, the pink stripes around the field today, and many in the stands also wearing pink. Gurr and Cicerone, good battle we'll see probably for the rest of the afternoon, and Cicerone taking down Jack Gurr. Cicerone originally drafted by the Portland Timbers back in 2017. Played with Timbers too, then Cincinnati, St. Louis, then landing a home here last year with Pittsburgh. Felipe over the top, Douglas Martinez cutting it back and off the head of Williams.
Douglas Martinez has to be aware of his surroundings. There's no need to go back there. Fantastic ball, Luis Felipe. Go forward, take a shot. It's that selection in the 18-yard box that's kind of plagued the Republic as of late. Those decisions, the when to shoot, when do I pass? And just you see Douglas Martinez then again, just maybe not the right decision.
Good chance here for Pittsburgh, going to play this out wide. Adikwa. Griffin peel away, back to Wheat. How about Danny Griffin? Talk about an Ironman. Has played every single match for Pittsburgh since 2020. Has played all but like 17 minutes. He's in his 81st appearance. But Dami Villader, now he's trying to spring Douglas Martinez forward. He'll cut it back himself and just ran out of space. And too many yellow jerseys.
Just ran out of options there. Douglas Martinez's run was a good one, but once he decided not to play it early, it's really tough, and there's no support for Dami Villader. But just going back to Danny Griffin, incredible. Started every single game this year. Only 24 years old. I know I've told you a few times, I was never able to do that. Suspended usually. Most of the suspensions usually got me credit to him.
Right, and especially as, you know, tabbed as a holding midfielder.
Maybe more control than I had.
Maybe. And just even healthy. I mean, not even to get a knock somewhere.
Yeah, that was also one of my issues. Those two, I think.
I don't get you.
And not playing well.
Yeah.
Maybe that one as well. So credit the consistency.
Well, I think you had a fine career, and I don't know if playing well, but you know what? There's also different jobs, right? There's different guys who are going to be called on to pick up a yellow card too, because they're going to be called to be physical. And it's just incredible, especially with this kind of season where there's 34 games to be played. And not only to start and play, but just finish out games the way he has. Over the top, Dan Casey is going to head this to Vidiello. We've been teaming up with the UC Davis Health to observe Breast Health Awareness Month. Throughout October, we'll work together to increase awareness and raise funds for cancer research, highlight local leaders, and support patients currently undergoing treatment. To learn more, head to the Republic website. 49 points for Sacramento, currently in 4th position. But a win here today and a loss by New Mexico would mean Sacramento would host the first round spot against the 5th seed. Into some space, Villader, cutting cross. Douglas Martinez was there to finish it, but the flag was up. Awfully close there. Great combination from Sacramento. And finally, you had the 3 parts working together, and it was just a step offside.
That's what you want to see. You spoke about how can you beat this back line. Once again, it's those slid balls through. That one by Keko to Dami Villader. Tough to see whether he was on or off. But Douglas Martinez recognizing that Dami getting it, making a great run in the box, but the flag was already up.
So far, though, I mean, this is two teams, very clean game from what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, and not a lot of physical play, or at least guys going in with maybe questionable challenges, and a little bit of change of pace so far.
I don't think anyone's feeling the sting from that game 8 years ago, last time they played.
I'm saying of the last week here.
Yeah, no, not too much. Again, it's hot out there. Maybe people watching this in Pittsburgh, it's that hot there right now, but almost 90 degrees here in California.
This ball's through as Martinez lets it go for Keko. Keko trying to cut it back. He's brought down in the box. Will stay on his feet, try to play it back to a teammate. As somehow the play will resume in Sacramento's favor, despite Keko not able to get a shot off and then taken down. Douglas Martinez, however, remains on the turf as he almost set a screen, let that ball go perfectly through to Keko down the spine there, Adam, but
yeah, he's taking a good hit there. Douglas Martinez, really clever play, the awareness to let that ball go through. Just letting that ball run through as it's played by Roro. And Keko should be taking this with his left foot, tries to cut back, and it was a good recovery by Peters, I believe, who gets his leg on that one. Opportunity gone. I think those are the times where Mark Briggs just wants the guys to have a little more conviction. take the shot. When you create it, you're not going to create too many glorious opportunities against a team like Pittsburgh. So might be on the weak foot, take a crack.
Well, a lot of times you don't need to be perfect, right? And so I think that sometimes you, as a player or anybody in any profession, tries to be perfect and it ends up not going the way at all, and you don't give yourself a chance. And I think that's an example of it right there. So still scoreless, about 35 minutes in here. As Douglas Martinez back up. And this allow us to give you a word from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
So you're out for a drink. Before that drink turns to drinks, make a plan to get home safe. Just call a friend, a cab, or get a ride share. Whatever you do, don't let drunk drive. Go safely, California.
It's supposed to be about 90 degrees here in Sacramento. Very rare for an October day. Hence why this game was scheduled for the afternoon. Because we usually like these early spring, fall matches in Sacramento. They are fantastic. Today, it's a bit hot. Keko being dragged down. And it is Keko who is charged with the foul. It's going to be a bit tougher for Pittsburgh to earn a home playoff spot. They'd likely need to win out, and then Birmingham or Detroit must not win out either. So if one of those clubs does exactly that, then you will not see Pittsburgh with a home match, but they are in the playoffs, and a dangerous team at that, as Dan Casey is on the turf. I'm not sure what happened there. I missed. There was a collision, or he's holding his left ankle. I don't know if Cicerone and Casey went into each other.
Yeah, I think maybe Cicerone just stood on him off the ball there. Pittsburgh have switched things around. You'll see Cicerone still. He's going to come in a little bit central. Alex Dixon switched to the left-hand side. And Robbie Mertz is going to be out here on the right-hand side. So looking to get a little bit more support centrally to Dikwa.
Good touch. Trying to spring something forward. How about the job that Duke Lacroix has done? Typically where Dami Villadair is a left back, had played some central defense before, but he has stepped in nicely with the injury to Lee Desmond. Slowly out to the left side for Pittsburgh here. This takes a deflection, and a scary one at that, off of Keko, but Danny Vitiello is aware.
Nice alert by Vitiello. It's always worrying when you see a ball deflected like that and you're heading straight for your goal. They caught that one early enough.
Nice job there by Douglas Martinez to shield Ordonez. And now Keko will look for, or excuse me, Keko will find it from Roro. Gurr crossing this ball in, gobbled up by Waite. We saw it early on this season, the Roro-Keko connection that has only gotten stronger throughout the year. They seem to have awareness of where each other are on the pitch almost at all times, and we saw here a perfect example of Roro putting this in a good spot for Sacramento to get something.
Yeah, Roro started it, and Jack Gurr was actually trying to find Roro at the back post. He made a good run.
Meanwhile, collision. And Sacramento will hold it here. as Dikwa is on the ground. Maybe took a little shot to the back as that ball was played up. SMUD has been powering the community for more than 70 years and has made the commitment to eliminate carbon emissions by 2030. Join the charge for a clean power city at cleanpowercity.org. A tough one against San Antonio on October 1st for this Pittsburgh side. It was down to the 86th minute. The winning goal by San Antonio. Carter Manley. And we've seen that a couple times with San Antonio this year. Even with Sacramento playing it tight for most of the game, and then they get that one goal, and it's hard to break, and that has been this key to their success this year. And interesting to see how San Antonio fares in the playoffs. We've seen Phoenix dominate regular seasons and then go out early.
It is a real interesting one. Rarely do you get that team that dominates and then runs through the playoffs. There's a different pressure that comes with it, and you can't really measure it either. You just don't know how a team's going to react. But that was definitely Phoenix's undoing over the last few years. San Antonio,
well, they're built a different way, right? I mean, I think San Antonio was such a high-flying team, score as many goals as possible. Defensively, they were good. I don't want to take that away from them, but San Antonio probably much better defensively. This ball's crossed in. It's going to float a bit high. Dixon waiting for it. Now it's Forbes. Back to Griffin. Each team has had some quality possessions, but not enough quality looks on frame. And Sacramento's been in that position, being the #1 seed, losing to Orange County here at home. This ball sent in, directed, and looking for Wheat, and it'll be out for a goal kick. Crystal Creamery has been building strong bones and bodies with the freshest dairy from the Central Valley since 1901, taking pride in delivering dairy you can trust. So grab a glass and taste how fresh local can be. Simple, local, fresh.
some ice cream sounds good right about now, to be honest.
I'm telling you.
Pour it over me.
It'll be a bit sticky after, but I guess you'll figure it out. There's the river, not too far away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mark Briggs said this club had a really good week of training. He said they were sharp. Said he really enjoyed what he saw. The finishing was there. Can they translate this to the match this afternoon?
They've definitely had opportunities. They've had good positions, Sacramento. But it is still 0-0. Not too many opportunities so far for Pittsburgh, but we've seen how dangerous they can be. Good run by Mertz in the middle and the back post, Cicerone.
Dikwa, and it's right there as Danny Vidiello makes the stop on Cicerone on cue, looking for goal number 13 on the year. But the former Riverhound makes a big-time stop, and maybe the biggest stop of the afternoon.
Just right on cue. He said they haven't had too many great opportunities, and that might be the best of the game so far. Good patient play by Dikwa, gets his head up. Picks out a fantastic pass, and for Cicerone, it just goes straight at the goalkeeper, which will disappoint him. He knows, again, not too many glorious opportunities so far in this one, but that was a good chance to take a lead into the half for Pittsburgh.
Matt LaGrossa placing a nice ball into the corner for Keko. He'll go against Peters here. Finding Gurr. Gurr's going to whip this ball and looking for Roro, and just missed the left side of the post. Another golden chance by Sacramento. And both teams with back-to-back looks, neither can convert, and Roro knows he missed an absolutely splendid chance to take a lead.
I think that was a better chance for Sacramento than it was for Cicerone a couple minutes ago. And it's a great ball by Jack Gurr, swung in, and Roro knows He knows that should be 1-0 to his team. He tries to put it in the corner. You just want to put that back on frame with the pace and the powers on the delivery. It's just putting it on target, and you're looking at 1-0.
It's been the story of late for Sacramento, just unable to convert that final chance. Douglas Martinez. That pocket's closed. He's going to dribble out of it, find back for Roro. And now the defense has been able to collect. This one takes a deflection, headed clear, and now it's Cicerone. Another turnover.
Sacramento not letting Pittsburgh out there, sensing something. They can get something here right towards the end of this half.
Keko plays this ball for Dan Casey, and just a bit too much the timing there, but we do have 2 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by Rayleigh's Something Extra Rewards Program. Earn points every time you shop. Sign up today at Rayleighs.com.
And you might see more of that in the second half. Dan Casey, we've seen him in the attack. Connor Donovan getting forward, even Duke Lacroix. Pittsburgh only playing one up top with Dequa. They don't play with high wingers. So there is a little bit of space for those three at the back to drive forward with it.
Felipe, he's got his eye on Villader. Wheat using the height. Bad throwing by Sacramento. Lucky to get this ball back. Roro going to switch the field, finding Jack Gurr. Keko's peeling inside. Going to try to find some space. Here's Gurr, and the flag went up. The goal will be taken away.
That was really, really tight. And to be fair, the linesman, he did put the flag up straight away as soon as Keko played that to Gurr. And you think of that ball played slightly earlier from Keko, this goal might have counted.
2 offside goals coming back for Sacramento in this first half. Yeah, he's offside. You can look at that back line. And, you know, give credit to Ordonez and Williams and Wheat. They all stayed up and held that ground.
That was really tight. It's tough to see from where we were at. You don't know if maybe Peters or Williams have kept them on. Close call by the Republic.
And there is the whistle by Mark Allerton. So 45 minutes and then some. No score for either side. They'll go to the locker room 0-0. Each are going to go in saying, we had opportunities, we had some good looks, just did not convert. Sacramento had more of them. But either way, it's going to remain scoreless into the second half. We'll have a good one. Both these teams fighting for a home playoff position. Keko and Rodrigo Lopez in company. Can they find the magic here on a warm fall day in Sacramento? Republic, Riverhounds, 45 minutes still to come.
Esta es la mirada de una niña con grandes sueños, pero una última esperanza. Una niña cuyos órganos fallaban a medida que ella crecía. Una niña que finalmente descubrió su foco cuando encontró su especialista. UC Davis Health. Desde lo extraordinario hasta lo rutinario, estamos descubriendo la buena salud y cambiando vidas aquí mismo en Sacramento. UC Davis Health. Descubriendo la buena salud.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, Smud's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
This is the look of a boy who had no hope of walking. A boy who had his spine rebuilt before he was born. A boy who now stays on his feet and keeps mom on her toes. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
With your hosting rights to a conference quarterfinal match in the event your PFC will host a
Well, summer just won't go away. Perfect for Modelo at the break. And it is a sizzle here, 90 degrees, and it just feels warmer. Well, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we sat down with Douglas Martinez to talk about his love for football growing up. And this episode, Modelo's The Indomitable Spirit. Let's take a look.
Creo que de niño siempre soñé con ser un jugador profesional. Siempre he estado en casa mirando juegos en la televisión, yendo a jugar con los compañeros de la escuela o los amigos del barrio. Siempre desde que tengo uso de razón, siempre quise ser un jugador profesional. Pues muy lindo, la verdad que crecer en Honduras, uno de los países reconocido mundialmente peligroso según la gente, la expectativa que tiene, pero estando ahí, creciendo en un lugar muy bonito, con mucha paz, con la gente muy humilde, que la mayoría de personas pues viven del fútbol, siempre es una pelota. Me acuerdo cuando iba a los supermercados, a las tiendas, le decía a mi mamá que me comprara una pelota para poder patearla ahí en la casa, o a veces hacía pelotitas de papel, las rellenaba de tape y empezaba a patear por toda la casa, quebrándole los jarros a mi mamá y aguantando las regañadas, pero es muy lindo crecer en un pueblo fuera de la ciudad, creciendo tranquilamente y humildemente, recibiendo todos los valores que nos inculcan en un lugar como es crecer fuera de la ciudad. Mi mamá es muy futbolera. Mi mamá le gusta el fútbol desde siempre. Ella decía que jugaba en la escuela. Y sí, gracias a ella pienso que tengo el don de poder gustarme el fútbol, porque de ahí es muy raro en mi familia que jueguen apasionadamente. Pero diría que mi mamá, incluso cuando empecé a ser profesional, mi mamá me dijo de que había una oportunidad de que equipos iban a hacer tryouts, y entonces me dijo, bueno, si quieres ir, ve y a ver qué pasa, y si no, pues te regresas a casa y sigues haciendo lo que normalmente haces. Y bueno, fui al Club Deportivo Vida de Honduras, fue mi primer equipo, hice el tryout como una semana, y en una semana pues ya me dijeron de que iba a ser contratado, y ahí fue donde comenzó todo. Tengo la memoria y la imagen de mi mamá como una persona de que me ayudó desde que estaba niño. Gracias a Dios que pudimos llegar hasta acá, y una gran bendición.
I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
Goes topic speakers. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today when we go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's last on Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What?
What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
Welcome to Tampa Bay. Here he comes. Cross, score! Fernandez, and the Rowdies are on the board.
And it's into the back of the net. El Paso waited for their moment.
Far corner, and it's in. What a goal! Are you watching Football Americas?
Unbelievable! What a goal! What a moment! The ultimate upset when it mattered the most!
Welcome back. A sunny day in the capital of California. No score. Republic Riverhounds. As it is a match that we thought would be 68 degrees maybe, Adam. About 20 degrees hotter.
It feels like 168. That's what it feels like.
It's not that bad. There is a slight breeze, but just, I guess this time of year, not expecting to have temperatures in the high 80s. Anyway, let's take a look around the playoffs as we know who will host. If they continue to go San Antonio, Lou City, if they continue to progress, they'll have home throughout, but San Antonio, we come to the West. So the West, however, crazy. RGV, Oakland, New Mexico, El Paso, everybody's still in the mix.
Yeah, it's going to be a scramble. This next week, fun times. It's interesting for El Paso. I mentioned to you before, they play their final game Wednesday, so even if they win it, they still have to wait.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees there, so it's a lot of fun this time of year. If you're in, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. If you're not, yeah. So here's how it looks currently. Now this is how things would be if it stood. So if Republic end with a draw, they would end with 50 points. Now, mind you, if Sacramento's able to get 3 today, that would put them at 52. And then New Mexico's currently in 8th, but they've played 1 game less than everybody now because of a delay that they had against Los Dos of a water issue on the field. So they'll play later today. We'll start to find out. Maybe you're talking about Wednesday night. We might have actually a better idea of where we are.
Yeah, I think we will. New Mexico kicking off right now in San Diego. Tough game, but they weren't on that table there. Only played 31 so far, but this is how it would be. But that's, I mean, we can look at this right now, but that's not what it's going to look like. We know
Yeah.
that each game's going to change those little diagrams and the numbers next to them. So, but we know San Antonio will be there.
We know San Antonio, know San Diego will be number 2. And it looks like switchbacks are going to probably hold on to 3 there. So I think you have 1, 2, 3 set. 4, 5, 6, 7, though, still up for grabs. So we got a lot of water drinking, a lot of beverages being had today. It's a warm one, but it's scoreless. Republic Riverhounds. We'll have your highlights and your stats coming up right after this.
How do you build a community that thrives? By staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012. Because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh.
This is the look of a woman who fought cancer for years with no answers. A woman who bravely championed her own health and found a doctor who'd do the same. A woman whose ending was rewritten when she found remission. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, Smud's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
I don't think that's right.
Welcome back. Modelo at the break. Plenty of chances for Sacramento in this first 45, Adam. But unfortunately, no goals to show for it yet. So that firm will stand. No score here. But how about some highlights anyway for you?
Let's see them. Let's see them.
Early on, both teams had some chances. I like this from Sacramento, though.
Great ball. Like Rasa setting Keko free. And it's getting in those positions, and the shot comfortable enough for weight, but you're pushing him into a save. So good play by Keko there. 3rd minute, Sacramento did start strong. 40 minutes later, things start heating up. It's a glorious opportunity for Russell Cicerone.
One that he probably doesn't miss very often.
For him, just straight at Danny Vitiello, hiding in the shadows there. And then right up the other end, Rodrigo Lopez, probably the best chance of the game, falls to him. Fantastic delivery by Jack Gurr. Should be 1-0.
So both teams had good looks, but neither able to put it away. That's sort of been, when you look at the story as of late for both of these clubs, that's been the issue. It's been the inability to put balls away when they're given good chances here. Sacramento had 2 goals called back because of offside. And that'll hurt you too. But in the locker room, what is said, how do you make sure that that's not a narrative that continues for here as we see the stats? Put those up for you real quick. I guess if you're both teams here, how do you finally break through here and change a little bit of the dynamic?
Well, both teams are getting in some decent areas, some decent spots. So it's just a conversion. It just hasn't been there as of late for both sides. So continue doing what you're doing, and if you take your chances, there's a good chance you're walking away with maybe a 1-0 victory here.
Looks like no changes for either side. Sacramento will now head into the sun toward the river, while the Riverhounds will head toward the north end of the stadium here at Hardell Park. And Mark Allerton blows his whistle, and the second half is underway. As this ball is delivered quickly, what did you like from Pittsburgh in that first 45 minutes?
I like how they were setting Dikwa free. Up top, it's kind of an isolated role at times, but he's done a good job holding it up and making some good runs in behind. He's been dangerous. Again, Connor Donovan's got his hands full with him all day.
And what about Sacramento?
The positions are getting into really, really good. It's just that final decision. We saw Keko maybe had an opportunity to shoot with his left foot, decides to cut back. It's gone. Douglas Martinez could have drove through on goal one time, cuts back, opportunity's gone. So a little more clinical and a little more selfish, I want to say at times, in the final third.
Maybe cut out the cutbacks here. We've seen too many of those the last couple of weeks. Sacramento went on a scoring barrage after the Orlando game, scoring 8 goals, allowing none in 2 matches, and then have gone scoreless in the last 3 and have allowed 4. Trying to break that here today at home, where they have been so dominant. Only 2 losses in 2022. Of course, you add that with the US Open Cup. It's been an impressive 2022 season here at Heart Health Park. Republic have 14 wins with the Open Cup here. Roro's on this left side. He's going to cut it back here. Right foot cross, looking for Keko. Getting up in the air is Alex Dixon. And saved what could have been a nice look for Sacramento on goal, but it'll be a corner kick in the first of the second half.
Great piece of defending by Alex Dixon there. Those usually don't go together, by the way. Former teammate of mine, not his strength, but he did fantastic there. That ball's coming straight to Garrett at the back post. Gets up, clears it away, corner kick Sacramento.
He's had a nice career, the 32-year-old out of Texas. 48 goals, 2 away from becoming just the 20th player in USL Championship with 50 goals and 30 assists. Jack Gurr poking this one. And Casey in the last touch by Riverhounds. But Dixon, Rochester, OKC, Hartford. Now in his second year with Pittsburgh.
Alex Dixon, again, not huge in stature, but that guy can crack the ball. There was always a competition when we played together at Houston Dynamo. Who had the hardest shot? It was me, of course, but...
Right, obviously. Well, he's not here to defend himself on air, so it's quite convenient. And there's a whistle against Pittsburgh. Roro. Quick tap from Douglas to Felipe, trying to spring Keko toward goal. Weight is there.
So the run by Keko, Luis Felipe trying to feed it through, and it was Shin Wheat right back, just putting his body in front, slowing him down. Ball goes straight into the goalkeeper.
Republic have officially clinched their 8th postseason berth in club history, and a top 4 finish in the Western Conference would secure a home match in the conference quarterfinals. Be notified. Make sure you have your tickets ready to go. Sign up at the Republic website for it, sacrepublicfc.com/playoffs. And that's going to likely see yellow for Matt LaGrassa. But how about Sacramento? I mean, what a turnaround. We talked about all the great runs of US Open Cup this year, but after a disappointing season last year, not making the playoffs, revamping the roster, giving Mark Briggs another chance to see what he can do here in Sacramento and gets this club back to the playoffs. I mean, not an easy feat to do. I know it seemed easy over the first 7 years because it almost came natural that the Republic would be in the postseason. But the league has gotten so much better, and we saw proof of that in 2021, where you couldn't just probably roll it out and have Sacramento on your chest. You had to do a bit more. And we're seeing it here with a group of guys that not only play hard, but they're a really great bunch. I think that's what's so good to see this year, Adam, is you want to support them. You want to see them do well because you like them as people on top of their athletic ability.
Yeah, the fans really loving the group of players this year. Again, every single one of them gives everything they've got. And a lot of credit has to go to Mark Briggs. A lot of uncertainty with his future coming into this season. And it is a tough job being a head coach. The amount of pressure you face, and you can't get out there on the field and control certain things. But he's done a great job, not only getting the team back in the playoffs, but getting the team to the to the Open Cup final, something that you can only dream of as a USL side. So great job. He's not set on it. That's just not enough for him. He wants to win the whole thing, and I know the players do as well.
Interesting. Those look at coaches, managers tend to get too much credit at times and probably too much of the blame on the other side of it, and just goes with the job. As you look at Sacramento and the number of shots, I mean, they're top 5 in USL Championship in shots. It's just been that final moment, that final opportunity. The Republic have struggled in 2022. Otherwise, they're probably running away with this season. But they've created good looks. They've had combinations like this that do turn into results. But Pittsburgh has done a nice job this afternoon getting back. Look at the 4 already there. Gurr try to find Roro here. Roro cutting inside. Roro! And there is the whistle. There is the point. And we have a penalty as Rodrigo Lopez cutting inside of Peters. Douglas Martinez was in the neighborhood. Would have been a nice opportunity for a score. And I think that was the decision there by Mark Allerton. And so a penalty kick here for Sacramento to take the lead in the 53rd minute. Bob Lilly is a bit upset with the call. What do you think, Adam, here?
Yeah, good ball by Jack Gurr, and Peters just gets on the wrong side. Anytime as the center back, you're the wrong side of the attacker, and he just bundles into the back of him. The ref was very slow with blowing the whistle, but Roro knows what he's done. He's on goal. He's on the other side of the defender. The contact comes in from Peters behind, and it's maybe a tough call. We've seen them given both ways. It's clever play by Roro. He caught the defender in a really tough position. It's a chance for him to give this team the lead.
It'll be Lopez against Waite. Rodrigo Lopez with a chance to score the game's first goal here. And Lopez ball is through the net. The Republic score their first goal in 3 matches. And it's a big one. It's the captain of this team, Rodrigo Lopez. 6 goals now on the year. And what a sigh of relief here at Hart Health Park.
8 years later, he still does it against Pittsburgh. Great composure by the captain there, stepping up. Waits. And we look, he's the man who gets the foul. Rodrigo Lopez, great run, great ball by Jack Gurr. Puts Peters in a tough position, and it's clumsy, if anything. But then step up, slots it to the right of the goalkeeper. 1-0 Republic.
And you feel like this season, the way things had gone the last week, you never felt panic. And I know there was a lot from many fans who felt like, oh no, here we go. This is all going to fall apart. And I think it was really smart of Mark and the staff to just really downplay it. And you know, they felt like once they get 1 goal, it was going to be fine and open right back up. So hopefully that's going to be it for Sacramento. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, though, on the road and now down a goal, are going to likely need to create more opportunities for themselves. It's going to be a long, tough way to get 3 points against a Republic side that does not allow many goals. Back to the left side. Here's Dixon. Going to cross this one. Back post. Wide open was Robbie Mertz, and he just skied it over the bar. A golden chance to equal this a minute later. And the Riverhounds feeling like Sacramento maybe did in that first half of play.
Now it should be 1-1 right there. First, we've really seen Alex Dixon get involved, and he shows what he can do, shifting to his left, plays that ball to Robbie Mertz, and I think if he has that chance again, he's going to attack that with his head. He waits on that ball coming to him. If he goes with a head there, he's probably got a free goal to play that ball into, and he knows that was a glorious chance to reply straight away. Mark Briggs won't be too happy. Within a minute, Pittsburgh have a chance to tie it up.
There's a bit more energy right on the pitch now, as maybe both sides feeling a little bit that there's opportunities to be had, and there's going to be better chances here in the second half, and things may open up as a foul is awarded in favor of Pittsburgh. Well, this Riverhounds team They have just one win this year when conceding the first goal. So history is not in their favor for picking up 3 points, but for Sacramento, they can't let up. Cicerone playing this back to Forbes. Forbes to some space along the right side to Mertz, looking for another opportunity. Griffin.
And you can see the intensity for Pittsburgh's been picked up. Unfortunately for them, it's when they're down a goal, but
some space, Forbes, and he just dinks this into the far post. The flag stayed down, and we are now tied as Sacramento is calling for offside. Pittsburgh is celebrating, and it's 1-1.
Great finish by Kenardo Forbes. Only his second goal of the season. He's had a ton of assists, and he took that very well. A little dink over Danny Vitiello as he's rushing through. The ball slipped through to him from Wheat. And he looks to be onside, and a really cool finish from the Jamaican. Just like that, instant reply. It looked like it's maybe going to be a game, no goals all of a sudden on the space of 4 minutes. We have 2, and I don't think we'll be done either.
Keko getting some space. Ordonez is there, able to head it away and get possession back for Pittsburgh. Dequa with a little bit of a move on Donovan. Now he's trying to slip through and find Cicerone on the other side. Jack Gurr comes back for it, but Cicerone's got to look for it, and denied by Dan Casey inside the box.
Since that Republic goal, Pittsburgh have definitely taken it up a few notches.
Different energy level. Maybe feeling a bit of opportunity for now both teams. Now you've seen more open play in the last 3 minutes than we saw in the first 50 minutes. Roro alone on this right side in front of the Republic bench. Keko gonna spring through. Here's Martinez. Martinez crossing this ball to no one, as Felipe and Dami Villader unable to make that run. But I think just a tough ball.
Yeah, Dami Villader has to be aware of when the play's coming down the right-hand side, Keko's out, Roro's out, Douglas is the guy playing, and he has to make the run into the box. Can't just stay out on that left-hand side. Got to make that run. If he makes the run, it's a tap-in for him. Don't know if it's just tiredness at this phase in the game, but if you want to score goals, you've got to make the runs.
So substitutions will start to come now at the hour mark on a warm day like this, 89 degrees. And that change might be coming sooner, as Williams, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue to go in this game.
Great ball through by Keko, and that's when somebody else has to be getting in the box. Douglas, brilliant ball across the face. Dami Villader is the one I mentioned. I think Luis Felipe is trying to make a run from deep as well. It's a lot of ground for him to cover, but getting in those positions.
So Rivera in. Looks like Williams' day comes to an end with maybe a bit of an injury, as he is slow to get off the pitch here. Probably not the substitution Bob Lilly wanted to make, but has no other opportunity.
24.
It'll be a corner here for Sacramento. The hour mark has been reached. It's tied at 1. Both goals coming within 3 minutes of each other. Roro trying to see what Pittsburgh was looking to do. A bit of a hesitation. He'll reset again. Ball driven to the center, and it's headed away by Peters. But Duke Lacroix's in a bit of foot race with Robbie Mertz. 5 shots for Pittsburgh, 4 for Sacramento, each with 2 on target. And you could argue Republic probably had the better looks in the first half, but equally in this second half now, Pittsburgh had 2 good chances, made good on one of them, and able to tie it up after the penalty kick by Rodrigo Lopez. Dequa goes down holding his leg, then pops right back up, and Mark Allenton wanted no part of it. Well, take your Republic experience to the next level. Become a member today. Select your seats. Secure 2022 playoff priority. Enjoy member exclusive benefits as well. You can sign up on the website. Here's Gurr cutting through. And Gurr takes a shot to the lower shin there, and he will earn this club a deep set piece.
It's good play by Jack Gurr coming in from the right-hand side. Good piece of footwork. Kenardo Forbes just caught him slightly there, and looks like he's able to continue. Forbes a little fortunate maybe not to get a yellow card, but it is a chance for Rodrigo Lopez to get the ball in the box here.
Martinez, LaGrassa, Donovan, Felipe, even Dan Casey await this service from Rodrigo Lopez. It's too far for Luis Felipe, and maybe on a quick change trying to get a second ball in, it sails away in a missed opportunity.
Just slightly behind Luis Felipe. They've done a good job of getting him free at the back, but the ball was just slightly off by Roro. But it's been a good response by the Republic since Pittsburgh got that tying goal. It's almost shifted once again.
Substitutions warming up for both sides. New Mexico has a goal advantage over San Diego in the 20th minute. And Douglas Martinez whistled for a foul that kills the attack for Sacramento.
Yeah, you watch Cicerone here. It maybe is a foul, but he lands and then goes down. So foot goes down and then decides, oh, it's going to kick. Well, I'll make my way to the ground, and clever enough, swaying the referee. I mean, we saw Roro do the same with that penalty kick as well, getting his body in a position to get the call.
Dequa, first touch and going shoulder to shoulder with Duke Lacroix. And it will be a corner kick for Pittsburgh. But if New Mexico is able to win this game, now still a long way to go, 70 minutes plus, they would propel themselves back into 5th place, and then RGV, Oakland, and El Paso would all be tied with 46. Only 2 of them would get in for those final spots at a 3 there. But what a battle we have seen here in Las Vegas. Not out of it yet. Floated back, and the flag goes up. It'll be a goal kick here for Danny Vitiello. But Adam, I mean, what a final month here we've had in the Western Conference in terms of teams just trying to make the playoffs, and a few of them working on the seeds as well. But Really, Sacramento, the only one with really a home playoff game on their minds. The others are just trying to make sure they get into the postseason. Danny Vidiello, Dequa comes and makes contact. And now the Republic will move forward. Don't miss a minute of action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship on ESPN Plus, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, and much, much more. Cicerone had a good chance earlier in this game, cut down, stays on his feet. Now a chance, this ball's crossed toward the middle, nobody there. And Dixon will collect it along the end line. His cross coming. Gurr, Keko. Turnover. Roro's got Douglas Martinez to his right. He'll kick it off to Douglas. And an errant shot, unable to find target on a buildup, who had Keko peeling off to that left side, and Rodrigo Lopez trying to make a decision as 4 Riverhounds started surround number 8.
Yeah, I think Roro does great driving forward with the ball, winning the ball initially. I think it's just too early. Doesn't commit the center back. Ordonez and Douglas Martinez just slices across the ball.
And it looks like Mark Briggs might make a change here. You do have Luther Archimed and Malik Foster and Zico Lewis on the bench.
You see what Roro was trying to do there. He's trying to commit the defender, but Ordonez wasn't biting. Maybe just keep driving at him. Force him into decision, come at the ball or go at the other attacker.
Cicerone stays on his feet, able to keep this ball. Chance here, Riverhounds. Into the box they come. It's Robbie Mertz. Rovira and Jack Gurr does a nice job to shield away the Riverhounds.
And what a great opportunity for Pittsburgh, maybe a minute before Sacramento's there. Rovira getting down that left-hand side, and all he has to do is lay it right in Dequa's path. Plays it too far ahead of him, and then Sacramento get a chance up the other end.
Well, and Peters has slid into more central positioning. And so now changes for Sacramento. Malik Foster and Zico Lewis will come into this match. And Zico has really, we've seen more of the Zico the last couple of years and the last few weeks here, Adam. And Mark Briggs is rewarding number 10 for that effort and those ability to create chances. He'll come in as a sub here at the next opportune moment. Both getting directions from the staff on how to attack and where they can take advantage. It's a 1-1 game. Lopez and Forbes, 2 star midfielders, each in their mid-30s, getting it done for the respective sides. Forbes to Mertz as Dequa trying to run that right channel. Cicerone crossing, and Vidiello gets a paw on it, and Jack Gurr will get a high boot and play a nice ball back into Republic possession. Peters. Forbes. And a foul is awarded, a bit soft. And now a good look, though, for the Riverhounds in the 71st minute.
Keko not happy with that one. But once again, if you're on the wrong side of the attacker, it's always any contact you make is going through the back. It's always going to be in the favor of the attacker. And we just see Forbes looks to take a strike there, and Keko, a little bit of contact, tough to see if he gets the ball or not.
And Keko would like to have a further discussion with Mark Allerton. Rodrigo Lopez is there. And now it'll become a very tight game between these two. Each had opportunities, neither able to convert in the first 45 minutes, but Sacramento gets the first on a penalty kick drawn by Lopez, the 54th, and then Canardo Forbes able to sneak his way past the back line and get through for the Riverhounds, and it's 1-1.
I think Forbes will be looking at his second here.
And this ball's driven well and far. And a nice strike on it, but it's going to miss wide, and it will be the substitutions. First for Mark Briggs' side. Malik Foster, 7 goals on the season. He'll replace Douglas Martinez. And Keko comes out of the match in for Zico Lewis. What does Zico and Malik bring to this match for Mark Briggs and the Republic?
He's done really well as of late. Zico Lewis. Again, he's a guy who has to get the ball to his feet, and what he's really good at is making those runs forward, committing guys and sliding balls through. Now he has Malik Foster, a willing runner up top. Not the fastest back line for Pittsburgh, so they'll be very aware of what Malik Foster can bring to this match.
A lot of creativity with Lewis and Lopez.
And we spoke to Mark Briggs about Zico Lewis, and there's a good chance here for Pittsburgh.
Dequat laying into some space. And it's Matt LaGrassa does a nice job cutting Alec Dixon off as Rodrigo Lopez is run over. Crowd wanting to see a card, and they will earn one from Mark Allerton. As it's Ordonez.
And comes in with a high boot to the back of Roro there. There's no real need. Roro has no other option than to go back the way. Very reckless. Anytime you raise your boot like that as well, you always also run the risk of possibly getting a red card.
This year's Hispanic Heritage Collection pays tribute to the rich colors of the Hispanic and Latin American communities. 10% off scarf proceeds donated to La Familia Counseling Center in Sacramento. A deflection. Malik Foster backpedaling. Ordonez climbing over the top. Forbes finding Mertz.
Go back to Zico Lewis. It wasn't a great week last week for the club, those 3 losses, but Zico Lewis was a little bright spot there, getting some more minutes.
Nearly dipped one against Phoenix and getting that goal, and it just missed. And a head-to-head collision there as Peters seems a bit shaken up. A strong tackle, Luis Felipe. Whistle comes in. Luis saying he got all ball. Remember I said it wasn't very chippy early on. It's starting to get a bit physical, and it's the complexity of this game has been completely shifted from that first half of action.
Yeah, Luis Felipe just going right through the back there. This was the head-to-head, Mark LaGrassa and Johnny Peters. It's never fun to see, and Luis Felipe followed that up with a slide through the back of Mertz himself.
Zico Lewis, MVP for Charleston, a couple of seasons as an attacking mid. Malik Foster, undeniable pace. Roro gives him a look. Good step. And Danny Rivera does so many different things for this club. Here's Roro. Roro sliding this ball low. Nicely done by Waite.
That all comes about by Roro applying a low pressure. Pittsburgh under some duress, gives the ball away, and it comes back to Roro. Comfortable enough for Waite in the end. Again, you got to test the goalkeeper, and he does that.
And a ball right back to Danny Vitiello. Expected goals 1.46 to 0.69 for Pittsburgh. Sacramento with 3 shots on target now. It is tied 1-1. Lopez and Forbes.
And another match we're keeping an eye on, New Mexico. We're up 1 after 2 minutes now. They're down 1 in the 30th minute. San Diego.
At that switch, that was 2 minutes ago. Oh, man.
I mean, San Diego leads the West in goals scored. A very tough team to hold back.
Vidair, here's Zico Lewis, and it's denied by Ordonez. Love the aggression that we've seen from Zico Lewis, just willing to take some shots and chances. Felipe with a big opportunity. It's Wheat. This ball just bouncing around. Somebody's looking to control it. It's finally Pittsburgh. His body's slow to get up, but Deekwa now making a run. Dixon. Red Hawk Casino with an all-new resort hotel and spectacular amusement center opening soon. Red Hawk, the official casino partner of the Sac Republic FC. Forbes looking for Cicerone. This ball will be played back nicely by Dan Casey, who's had another standout year for Sacramento along that back line. Out the last couple of matches. He is in there ready to go for the stretch run. Roro. And Gurr wasn't quite sure who that was to. Elk Grove Charter School, a flexible and accredited 7th through 12th grade education. EGCS believes nobody succeeds alone. Now enrolling for the 2022-23 school year. Pittsburgh even thought that may have been called foul. They'll play on. We have 5 assists on the year. He plays midfield. He plays back line. A little bit of a Swiss Army knife for Bob Lilly in this Pittsburgh side this year. Sliding forward, Cicerone. Cicerone looking just for a bit of an inch. He's got it to his right foot, takes a shot and it missed wide. But what a strike from Russell Cicerone, who almost picks up his 13th goal. He's had a couple of those today. He just creates his own chances.
And you'll see Duke Lacroix here. What a great piece of defending, just throws his body in front of this. Stops it from going in the corner. Cicerone connects well. Duke Lacroix puts everything on it. Was not far from going in still. It's going to be a corner kick. Chance for Pittsburgh to send up those big guys from the back.
2 quality clubs going head to head here. We are into the 80th minute now. Set piece. Corner kick. It'll sail wide for Dixon and just concedes the throw back to Sacramento. And now more substitutions coming for both sides. So how about this? Mark Briggs going to add some offense to this game. He'll take out Dan Casey. He's going to put in Luther Archimedhead. So that means you're going to see a back 4 with Donovan, Lacroix, Villader, and Gurr, and then Lacrosse and Felipe will stay in the midfield. But now you have Archimed, Foster, Lewis, and Lopez in the attack for Sacramento. And now 3 changes for Pittsburgh, but give us through what Sacramento's going to do here with this new attacking look.
I like the move by Mark Briggs. He knows Pittsburgh just keeping 1 up top. You don't necessarily need the 3 center backs, so why not go for it? It's the penultimate match of the season here at home, so can you get a win here, set up for a win next week? You like the attacking move by him, putting Archmed in, taking off the defender. There's enough there's enough ammo in there now to go get this victory in the last 10 minutes.
Meanwhile, 3 key players now out for Pittsburgh is Kiza, Kelly, and Ibarra all into this match with a 1-1 game here between the Riverhounds and the Republic. Sacramento, can they find a little bit of late game magic and pick up those 3 points? And if they can see that scoreboard remain with San Diego in the lead at the end of the game, that would mean the Republic would host here at Hard Health Park. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh is going to look to some younger guys to either find a goal or maintain and earn a point. Eight shots to 7 in favor of Sacramento. Pittsburgh just 1-3-2 against the Western Conference. Meanwhile, Sacramento's fared much better going the other way, 5-2.
And if these results stood, Sacramento, if they were just to get a point here at home today, but New Mexico were losing San Diego, Sacramento would host that 4th place due to the head-to-head between both teams. Sacramento winning 1 against New Mexico and then tying the other.
And Malik Foster now has been on the turf twice, and they may have to make a sub. That is not good news for a guy who has dealt with injuries. And I'm not sure what's going on there with Malik, but you saw him down just along the ad boards a moment ago, and the staff will come out, but Mark Briggs may need to make a change here for the final few moments of this game. You just hope that it's nothing serious for Malik Foster.
Well, it looks like he's maybe holding his ribs, his stomach, just something. I mean,
he had a collision. He had a collision earlier, and that's when he went down. I'm not sure if that has played into it. Obviously, we're trying to play doctor from 70 yards away, but
I mean, yeah, because if you were closer, you'd be able to.
I'd be able to assess.
Make a much better assessment.
Yes. We can at least tell me where it hurts. Let's put it that way.
Not good seeing him down. We've seen just what a great addition he is when he's healthy, when he's fit. And a great run for him. Not been plagued by too many injuries so far this year. He had one right.
Well, it looks like the train staff is telling Mark that he might be okay. Rafa Haragi was ready to go in if needed.
He's holding, Malik Foster holding that side. You ever cracked the rib, Rob?
Oh, no.
No, I didn't. I fell on a ball once. And
that's even worse.
Yeah, I fell on it, just bounced off it. Cracked rib for 4 weeks wearing a padded, like a football player's padded shirt thing.
That doesn't really help anything.
No, it didn't. It just, still got hit.
Yeah. And that's one of those injuries you just want to put upper body injury or probably nothing, right? Because you don't want guys to understand.
Exactly. What rib is it?
Yeah. Be careful who you tell. Don't post it on social media. Dequa playing it centrally. Mertz peeling around to Kiza, and it's denied. Connor Donovan is there. Sacramento earning this throw. Republic will finish out the season here at home against San Diego, who has secured the 2nd spot in the Western Conference. As Mertz and Felipe get into it a little bit. And we tell you what, we thought maybe last year at San Diego had clinched a playoff spot that they might go a little easy, not maybe put everybody in. That was not the case. And it was a 1-1 game. And the Cameron Iwasa finale scored a goal. And you have a score update, looks like, in that match.
New Mexico tying that up 2-2 in the first half there. Plenty of goals, plenty of action. And I think that is Malik Foster's days done.
Yeah, Yeah, Malik Foster, it looks like he's pointing to his right side, so something doesn't feel right. And hopefully they can get him all set for the playoff run. So New Mexico and San Diego, it's Moreno and Portillo with goals. For the United, and then for the Loyal, it's Guido and Adams. So Mark Briggs will look like he'll go to Ferdy Sosa into this match, and Rafa Harrigan. So 2 changes, the final changes for Mark Briggs. It's unfortunate. Malik Foster will have to figure out what happened, but I think he collided with one of the Riverhounds in the back and just took a bit of a shot, and it just is something that is not able to get through and play, so they'll take him off. And Ferdy Sosa into the match, the 31-year-old. And Rafa Harrigan, Jack Gurr comes out. And Rafa will replace Malik Foster. Dikwa. 1-1 here in Sacramento. Cross coming in. This ball's a chance for Vitiello to snag it out of the air, and does. Let's see what young Rafa can do. Scored his first professional goal this year against Los Dos in a 2-0 win. LaGrassa just taking this ball right back and send it to Danny Vitiello.
Good play by LaGrassa. He had to cover that right back spot for Sosa. Stands up. Kiza plays it back. It was good defensive. Isolating those 1v1 situations can be tough.
Zico.
Hopefully for Malik Foster, it's with the season, the last game of the season next week, you're hoping it's nothing too major for him. That ball deemed to have gone out by the linesman down there. Ferdy Sosa didn't agree.
And Mark Briggs doesn't either.
But you just hope Malik Foster's able to get by. The good news is he's able to walk off on his own accord. But you can never really tell with those types of injuries.
So Mertz is out. William Aying is in. Ooh, a little Rafa tap. Can he get there? Rafa battling with Wheat. Lovely alertness from the 18-year-old. 5 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by Rayleigh's Something Extra Rewards program. Earn points every time you shop. Sign up today at Rayleighs.com. Viader goes down. Riverhounds all around him. It's those moments in games that start to make you a little nervous. Everyone maybe is trying to feel it's over, and it just takes one attack, one breakthrough like this, springs something forward. Luther Archimed. Archimed is tripped up. And we may see a yellow card. We do, and it will be his second. That is a red card. And now another match here at Ardell Park, where the visiting side is down to 10 men. The only difference here is only a couple minutes to go, but Sacramento with a clear scoring chance there, as Luther Archimed has done this a couple times this season. Nicely done to draw the yellow card. And can Sacramento now take advantage?
Good ball played in behind, and there was some contact from Ordonez early, and Archimed felt the contact, goes down, and maybe plays up to it a little bit, but smart enough to know what position he's in. great chance for Roro. As you mentioned, there's not as much time as there has been in the game against San Antonio and then the game against the Galaxy 2. But they definitely have a few minutes here to try and get a winner at Heart Health Park.
Archimed comes in as a sub and draws a key play in this game. It'll be Rodrigo Lopez over it. Lopez looking for Luther Archimed, who takes a shot there. May have been off Riverhounds, but the officials deem otherwise. A goal kick for Pittsburgh. That's a great ball by Rodrigo Lopez, and Archimed just sandwiched there.
Just asking for someone to get a little glancing header onto it. And it looks like the defender clears that. I think it was Wheat. Referee gives a goal kick. Good defending by the Riverhounds. I don't think we've seen enough of those balls over the top in that second half. Again, it's not the fastest back line from the Riverhounds, but put them in those tough spots. Archimed making another run right now.
Felipe into the circle, playing it out. Zico, Scott Sosa is going to cross this one instead. Nicely defended by the Riverhounds. This Pittsburgh team will take on Oakland in the season finale as the Oakland Roots still trying to secure a playoff spot. Sosa. He's got space here. Looking for Zico. Zico and Rafa not done yet. And Riverhounds will do all that they can to ensure this clock ticks down even further, but Sacramento trying to see if they get one quality chance on it. On a warm day afternoon in Sacramento, 1-1. Forbes and Lopez 3 minutes apart. 54 minute for Rodrigo Lopez on a penalty kick. And then Canardo Forbes, who snuck back behind that defensive line for Sacramento and able to score the tying goal 3 minutes later. Sacramento have got to move this attack forward. They got 5 in the back now for Pittsburgh as they try to kill this game off. Roro will switch the field to Ferdy Sosa. And Sosa takes a shot from Dikwa. And you could hear that up here in the stands. Still 2-2 between New Mexico and San Diego as they go into the end of the first half. Villader, LaGrassa, Public, can they get one more quality look before this whistle blows? Ball crossed in, looking for Rafa. This is a bit too far from Faraday. And there is the final whistle. So Sacramento unable to get a shot on frame. Riverhounds able to survive with just 10 men. It ends 1-1 between Sacramento and Pittsburgh. Riverhounds moved to 54 points. Republic to 50 points. And Sacramento still in 4th for now, as this is a team that was hoping to pick up 3 today. Rodrigo Lopez, our Western Health Advantage man of the match, doing all that he could in his first game back in 3. Gets the first goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, good to see him back out there, getting involved, gets the penalty kick, puts the penalty kick away, had a great chance in the first half on that header, knows he should have done better. And I think a little disappointed they didn't get the 3 points here today, Republic, but Again, they didn't lose this one. It was a tough fought match.
And Pittsburgh is in 5th place with 54 points, a point behind Birmingham, both with a game to go. So 1-1 is it the final here, this second all-time match between these two sides, Republic and Riverhounds, each earning a point. Our post-game show is coming up next.
Sacramento is known as the city of trees, so it's important to take good care of them. Young trees need watering 2 to 4 times per week. Older trees need watering 1 to 2 times a month. Adding mulch around the base reduces evaporation. Save our water. Save our trees. Save California.
So you're out for a drink. Before that drink turns to drinks, make a plan to get home safe. Just call a friend, a cab, or get a rideshare. Whatever you do, don't let drunk drive. Go safely, California.
You wouldn't check your phone if the game was on the line, so why do it when your life is on the line? Stay in the game. Make good decisions each and every time you drive. To learn more, visit impactteendrivers.org.
And Mark Briggs pulling his team together. Bob Lilly doing the same, both on the pitch here today. You could just feel both teams probably feel a little disappointed in the result today. They each had a lot of chances to make something happen. I think Republic had some really good looks in the first. Pittsburgh had some probably better chances in the second. A fairly even game. It probably ends how it should today, 1-1. But if we want to take a look, let's go see the highlights here and walk us through. Sacramento early on had a nice chance, and then we go back and forth, and all the way to the 44th. You felt like this is probably going to the back of the net more times than not for Rodrigo Lopez.
Yeah, it's great ball by Jack Gurr. Keko, good work on the right. The delivery's fantastic, and it just needs that final touch put in the back of the net. And too many times, once again, for the Republic, they're getting in those spots and not even challenging the goalkeeper. And this was offside, this one, but you like the combination between Keko and Jack Gurr.
That was rather close too, wasn't it?
It was real tight. And Jack Gurr didn't like that decision. It's very hard to tell from the camera angle we had. Got to trust that the linesman's doing their job well.
Earlier in the match as well, Martinez goal called back. But Sacramento would start it here. Rodrigo Lopez just getting the best of the Riverhounds back line, drawing the foul in the box, and then the PK here, and it's 1-0, 54 minutes in.
Yeah, he slots it away really well. Roro gives the team the lead in the 54th minute, and you think, okay, see it out from here. But they didn't. Pittsburgh came straight at them, had a great chance to tie it up through Merce at the back post, but then this one taken well by Forbes. Just a little dink over Vitiello.
His second of the year. I mean, a guy who has 10 assists. This is not something he's been called on to do. It's now tied 3 minutes after a response from Pittsburgh. It opened up a little bit. You start to feel some chances for both teams. And this was another golden chance here. Luther Archimed drawing the foul. It would push it down to 10 men for Pittsburgh, but unable to get the ensuing look. And so that's where we end. I mean, look at this. 8 shots each with a goal. Possession was about even. I don't really know. This is about the most even game we've probably seen all year.
Yep. And I think for both teams, again, tough teams to play against. So heading into the playoffs, it might not be the result either team wanted, but
also very similar in the way they play too. I mean, if you looked at the way defensively they're good and they're not going to make a lot of mistakes. You try to spring someone forward, and there we are.
Yep. On any given day, I think both these teams could make a run to the USL Championship final. Neither in great vein of form, but again, once it gets to the playoff, it doesn't matter. Just get focused.
There seems to be a mental reset for players. There's different energy to it, and it just seems that you kind of start to forget, versus this game, you're thinking about the last game.
Yeah, there's definitely those elements. You're thinking about last game, but once you're in, it's why not? And if you're a little bit lower down the seeding, you get that little underdog tag as well, so it's always interesting dynamic there.
Hey, there's nothing to say that we may not see these two back together in the final. I mean, these are two quality sides. So Sacramento going to take on the Loyal of San Diego next weekend right here at Heart Health Park. Don't miss it. Adam and I will have the call as well. And it should be a fun one. San Diego is locked in that second seed in the West. Sacramento may find out whether or not we have a home playoff game later today, as San Diego is taking on New Mexico, where it's currently tied 2-2. I think our entire crew here in Sacramento. For Adam Moffat, I'm Rob McAllister. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you back here Saturday night as the Republic take on the Loyal in the 2022 regular season finale.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.